I'd describe it as pinnable, highly, eminently pinnable, and it actually needs the type of self-control at the throttle hand that normally comes with riding a modern sports bike rather than a cruiser. Well, that was how most of the conversation started when I was asked about riding the new Victory Octane.
Those launch very nicely.
The other question that came up more than once was, isn't it just an Indian Scout in different clothes? Well, it turns out that the differences are more than just skin or flared guards deep. Compared to the Scout, the Octane has an additional 46cc capacity via a bigger bore, and that results in 3 more ponies, or 103. And it has an extra 3.8 foot-pounds of torque, which gives it 76 at 6,000 RPM. It's also 4 kilos lighter. No big deal on paper, maybe, but the difference is in the riding, and the Victory has better suspension and is geared far more aggressively than its more ornate Indian stablemate.
Progressive front springs as standard, and the shocks are at a much steeper angle than Scout, which means that it deals with the surface irregularities a little bit better than the Scout does too.
The real joy of the machine is the power plant. It's a beauty. It really does require a deal of self-control, because giving the liquid-cooled 1200cc 60-degree V-twin a handful is a pure delight. It hammers. Victory claims that the engine is derived from the Project 156 race bike developed for Pikes Peak. It has 4 valve heads with twin overhead camshafts, and it's geared for acceleration. And accelerate it sure does. At 240 kilos dry and with 103 horsepower on tap, it isn't modern sports bike kind of fast, but it does have more than ample hurry up. The way the bike is geared also makes for quite remarkable top gear acceleration and roll on.
It really has got a delightful motor. This engine, we're cruising along now at 45 kilometres an hour in 6th gear, as per the indicator there. You give it the gas and it just takes off. It's got really good 6th gear acceleration.
What made pinning it even more enjoyable is that it has one of the sweetest gearboxes I've used. It's sure shifting, it's confidence inspiring like a hot knife through butter, no matter how sloppy or urgent I was for both up and down shifting.
The gearbox is very nice, it really is. Downshifting and then hammering it out of a corner really is very pleasant, very reliable shifting. And it has got one of the nicest gearboxes on a motorcycle.
Rowing it through the cogs was most satisfying. The wet multi-plate clutch is mechanically actuated, and it is also suitably efficient. On the road, the Octane's manners are pleasing. The frame is a high-tech cast aluminium, and its rigidity no doubt contributes to the solid and neutral feel of the ride. It's stable at normal to high speeds, and it corners and handles reliably.
It does corner very nicely. Pulls out of the corners very well too.
It also felt very well balanced while performing low-speed U-turns and manoeuvres, and it wasn't thrown offline at all by irregularities in the road surface, even when giving it a real handful on exits.
Turning circle's not bad.
That said, it is a firm ride, and you do feel those irregularities with 120mm of travel available from the 41mm front forks. Another of the important differences between Scout and Octane are the rear shocks. The Octanes have dual rate springs with threaded preload adjustment, and they are fitted at a noticeably steeper angle than the Scouts. They offer 75mm of travel and suited my weight much better than the standard Indians. Overall, I thought the chassis dynamics were well suited to the engine's output, and the 32-degree lean angle was good for a muscle cruiser, although with that engine and the pleasing way it does tip in, it's still pretty easy to start dragging pegs and grinding hard parts. But for a cruiser, it's agile and rewarding, particularly in an urban setting. It's pretty good on a set of twisties too. The 18-inch front wheel runs a 130 section tyre, while the 17-inch rear has a 160, and they are fitted to 10-spoke cast alloy wheels. That no doubt helps with the agility stakes, as does the bike's aggressive rake and trail. Stopping is by way of dual piston 298mm disc brakes front and rear, and ABS is fitted as standard. They are good brakes without being killer, and they have genuine two-finger fronts. The ancillaries are in keeping with the rest of the machine. The headlight is remarkably effective considering the size of the reflector. The self-cancelling indicators and the overall comfort levels of the machine are good. Like the rest of the package, the saddle is much more comfortable than it looks. Overall, I found the Octane to be a very pleasing motorcycle. I liked its modern, monochrome, high-tech appearance. Flowing back from its bullet fairing and hard creases, it had some tidy lines. It's a look-ahead machine with spirited performance and a delightful engine fitted in a very competent package. But most importantly, it's great fun to ride it.